Hello everyone, we've got a numerical methods question here. So it says figure 2 shows a sketch of part of the curve with the equation y equals f of x, where f of x is equal to 8 sine of 1/2 x minus 3x add 9. X is measured in radians. The point P shown in figure 2 is a local maximum point on the curve. Using calculus and the sketch in figure 2, find the x coordinate of P, giving your answer to 3 significant figures. So if it's a stationary point, then it's going to be where f dashed of x is equal to 0. Okay, so we need to work out our f dashed of x. So f of x is equal to 8 times by sine of 1/2 x minus 3x plus 9. Okay, so therefore our f dashed of x is going to equal 8 times by cos of 1/2 x, and we need to times that by the derivative of the inner function, which is going to be 1/2, and then we're going to have minus 3, and then the 9 is going to disappear. Okay, so therefore our f dashed of x is going to equal 4 cos 1/2 x minus 3. Now, this is going to equal 0 for a stationary point. So a stationary point, f dashed of x is equal to 0. So therefore our 4 cos of 1/2 x minus 3 is going to equal 0. So we're going to add 3 to both sides and divide by 4. It's going to give us that 3/4 is equal to cos of 1/2 x. Okay, perfect. So let's have a little look at our cosine graph. So if I draw a little bit of cosine, there we go. We're looking for 3/4. Now, the thing I should point out here is notice that we've got, in our curve, we've got 3 stationary points, and the one that we're interested in is the third. So here's the curve that we've got. This is the one that we're after, P, but you can see we've got one solution there, we've got one solution there, and one solution there. So it's basically the third solution. So not that one, not that one, that's the one that we want. So this is the solution that corresponds to P. So let's do inverse cos of 3/4. Make sure we're in radians, angle unit radians, and we're going to do inverse cos of 3/4. Okay, and that gives me 0.722, so that's my first solution there. Okay, so that is 0.722, and then this solution is going to be given by 2 pi minus that, so that solution is going to be 5.560, and then this solution is going to be given by 0.722 add 2 pi, and that is going to be 7.005. Okay, now all of these, remember, solutions correspond to our 1/2 x. So 1/2 x is therefore equal to 0.722, 5.560, or 7.005. Okay, so therefore our x is equal to 1.445, 11.120, or 14.01. Now, this is the one that we want because it's the one that corresponds to that third solution. So therefore we can say that, what's it asking? To find the x coordinate of P. So x is equal to 14.0 to 3 significant figures. And that's our answer to part A for 4 marks. Now, the curve crosses the x-axis at alpha as shown in figure 2. Given that to 3 decimal places, f of 4 is equal to that value and f of 5 is equal to that value, explain why alpha must lie in the interval between 4 and 5 for 1 mark. Well, you can see that we have a change of sign in that interval. Okay, so, and the curve is continuous. So we're just going to say really that because there is a change of sign, because we've gone from positive to negative, change of sign, and very importantly, the curve is continuous. Okay, this curve is continuous in the interval from 4 to 5. Okay, so that's what we need to say. We have a change of sign and the curve is continuous in that interval. So therefore alpha is in between 5 and 4. Okay, right, that's perfect. Now, taking 𝗀 equals 5 as a first approximation to alpha, apply the Newton-Raphson method once to f of x to obtain a second approximation to alpha. Show your method and give your answer to 3 significant figures. So we are given in the formula booklet the formula for the Newton-Raphson method, as they've called it here, or the Newton-Raphson procedure, as it's sometimes referred to. Okay, and what have we got? We have got the following. So it is f of xn add 1 is equal to xn minus f of x over f dashed of x. Okay, so we're going to be saying that we want to work out, we've been given that xo is equal to 5 and we want to find x1, okay, which is going to be our second approximation. So x1 is going to equal xo minus f of xo over f dashed of xo. So that's what we need. So x1 is therefore going to equal xo, which is going to be 5, minus f dashed of xo. Okay, so which is going to be 8 times by sine of a half times by 5 minus 3 times by 5 add 9. And all we're doing there is just literally subbing x is equal to 5 into the f of x equation from the question. Okay. Then in the denominator, we're going to sub x is equal to 5 into our differentiated version. And our differentiated version was 4 cos times a half times 5 minus 3, like that. Okay, so that's our f dashed of x. So we sub that in, and then we just literally put that into our calculator, which gives us 4.80462 ... And we want it to 3 significant figures. So our second approximation is going to be 4.80, correct to 3 significant figures. And that's our answer to that one. Perfect. I hope you found that video helpful. Remember, if you're finding these videos useful, if you could remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and that's going to help me keep on making more videos moving forwards. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.